Well, here we are 2 weeks later. I think the right parts have showed up. It's not exact, but I think it's going to fit a lot better. So a little rain. It rained last night, so everything's a little wet this morning. But I'm gonna get the skid steer, find the right rear hub assembly, and go ahead and bring it out here. We're gonna get all that. Robert gets to help me. He was here when we took it apart with Mike. Mike's not here. Mike left us. So yeah, we're going to attempt to put all this back together, see how that goes. All right, so we got the plastic off the axle there, got the spacer on, and these actually fit the way they're supposed to fit. Even though the other ones are supposed to be identical, they were not. You can see how much. If you remember, the other ones that we had, Robert took and machined those back down to that. But if you see, the factory ones actually come already tapered and cut back, so that fit up there on that perfect. So now we got to go ahead and get the pallet for the right rear and go ahead and start putting everything else on. New wheel seals are fitting a lot better. The other ones last time were spinning inside of there, and that's what Mike was concerned about. All right, clean the other side out, and we get to try to pick that up and get that lined up over there. that to line up just perfect.
That's it, not lining up perfect.
It's not lining up perfect.
I think our forks fell a little bit.
Tilt it down a little bit. Right. There we go. I started. Tap it with a block. Let's go.
You want a little bit with that? Just because you can't see.
Now we need to call Mikey, figure out what that torque spec was, because we got to use the special tool, right?
Yep.
The special tool. Let's call Mikey.
Yes, sir.
How you doing this morning?
I'm being lazy this morning. It rained here.
Oh, okay. Well, it rained here last night too, but that doesn't stop mechanics in action.
Oh, yeah, you got that beautiful rock shop there. You know, you keep on going.
We had to put some plastic down over top of our plywood. It was wet.
Oh, gotcha.
Well, I won't bother you long since you're still laying in bed. Torque spec was 250. Spin it 10 times forward, 10 times backwards.
Yep. Then back it off and then run it back up again.
Okay, back to 250.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Did the new seal slide over that spacer again?
They did. It actually slid. Even the spacer slid right on the hub pretty good. I mean, do we have to tap? We tapped it a little bit. No, we didn't have to tap it. Everything fit on there like it felt like it should.
All right.
There was no unusual persuasion.
All right. Then you got that. I guess you got all your well, you haven't put your planetary gear back in. You're getting ready to tighten up your.
Yeah, we're about to get to tighten up that nut, and then we'll put all those lock rings on there. The one with the 2 tabs on it, did that go? That went on there first, and then the snap ring, and then the one that's kind of flared.
Yeah. So the one with the 2 tabs, one tab will lock into
Okay, that goes last.
nut, and then one tab locks into the axle shaft. There's like a
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it there now. That's okay.
And then be sure there's that little piece that taps into the end of the axle shaft. Be sure you tap that in there before you put the axle in.
Okay. All right.
And it just kind of press fits in there. It should go in pretty easy.
All right. Sounds good. We're gonna give it a whirl.
All right. Good luck. Call me with it.
Thanks, man. All right, suppose we can get the skid steer out of the way now.
Yep.
Like you said, spin it. Diddy diddy did. I told him it was a good sign that when we backed the skid steer out, it didn't fall off. It's always a good sign. Put it in reverse, Terry. Beep. Beep. And then it's got all the locking rings that go in there. So backed it off. Back to 250. All right. No grindy, crunchy noises. How do we get it lined up?
Like that.
Huh?
Pull down on it.
Like that. Brake caliper going back on. That's just paint.
Somebody bought child-proof RTV.
Yes. So bought a new can of silicone that does not spray. So we're going to put the cap on with all the gears, and yeah, we got a silicone around that before we put all those bolts back in, and the $20-some can of silicone no spray. The block. So since we don't have any silicone that sprays, we're going to go ahead and put the hub on the other axle and get as much stuff done till we go get lunch. Uh-oh. The punch. Need the punch. Oh God. Ain't bad. That's better.
We need oil.
We need oil. There's a bunch in that bucket right there. I don't think I'm square. Hold on.
Down. Whoa! Down a little bit. Okay. Up. Down a little. Not too much.
Can we come out?
Yeah, go down just a
Down.
hair.
All right. So shaft number 2. Like so. All right, so we got that one on, as you saw. Now the truck is leaning this way and the gear oil is still running out, even though it's been 2 weeks. We're going to try to take the skid steer and pick up this corner of the truck and take a block out so that that axle leans that way and the gear oil will quit leaking out, so that we can actually get some silicone in there to seal that hubcap on there. Let's see how well the skid steer picks up that corner of the truck. So we went to lunch and got a few more parts we needed, such as the silicone that needs to go in there. So we're about to put the front hub on now, and that will be everything put back together. We'll go ahead and get that put on, put the brake calipers back on, then we can silicone all those hubs back on and start putting some tires back on soon. Axle number 3. Bam. All right, well, that was a little bit of a struggle getting those 3 planetary gears lined up and back on there. So now we're getting that tightened up, got our silicone in there, and it's a tight fit. There's 3 or 4 guides that line it up that have got to slide into the hub. All right, all 3 are back together. It's time to put the forks back on the skid steer. That's the right rear tire right there. Go grab it. See how fun that's going to be to line back up and get back on. We'll see. Well, it was slightly difficult to get the tire on there. I forgot to hit the record button, but it took the Mini and the skid steer to pick up on it and to rotate it so that it lines up with all the studs. All right, we'll see. Might have to have somebody come out here with a 1-inch impact and tighten them up, but we're going to see what, at least that, see exactly what the Milwaukee will do for now.
Wow.
Does kind of echo in that room. Hub. I don't think it's really going to matter. Wheel is on. Gonna pick the tire up. He's gonna take the blocks out and sit it back on the ground. What? He said go in farther. And then the truck will be on the ground now. Now we get to fill that back axle up with gear oil, and then we still got to put the front tire on after we bleed the brakes. All right, he's gonna bleed the brakes now. Do what? What thing? Yeah, it's on the back. The two jugs on the back here. On your side. The two round jugs right there. All right, we're gonna bleed the brakes on this thing now. Ready? Holding the brake pedal down. We need some air conditioning. It's hot in here. 80 degrees in November. Good. Hold it down again, and we wait for another thumbs up. Good. hold the brake. Good.
You can spin this one. The park brake's on, remember?
Front tire is now on. Both back tires are on. Last but not least, pump the gear oil back into the axle and the planetaries so it all fills that up. So what I'll do is I'll fill this up to where it starts coming out, and we'll take the plugs out on each tire there and make sure that those planetary gears are full as well. So I got buckets and buckets of gear oil to pump in there. Takes about 10 minutes to pump a 5-gallon bucket. Not terrible, not fast, but not terrible. We're gonna find out if the skid steer will pick the front of this truck up to get the jack stand out. Might need to give it all the ponies. I think it'll do it.
We need something bigger.
All right, so all 3 tires are back on now. Jack stands are out. Front of the truck was a lot heavier than I thought it was, but luckily there was enough equipment here to pick it up. So I guess we will take it for a little spin here and make sure everything still works. Well, we didn't work on it all day, but it did take majority of the day, 2 of us getting that thing back together. But everything is back together. Everything appears to be good. I have to run it some and make sure all the seals are in there good, but from what I see, I don't see any problems. So this thing's actually got about a foot of water in the bed from that rain. I'm gonna run over there to the woods and park it with the bed up and let some of that mud run out. And there's a few other things I need to do to it, and it'll be ready to head back to the next job site.